What if some of the foods you believe are the healthiest are actually raising your blood sugar every single day without you realizing it? And what if this matters even more after the age of 60? Most people don't think twice about what they eat in the morning or throughout the day. They choose foods labeled healthy, low-fat, or natural, believing they're making the right decision. And on the surface, it looks like they are. But here's the problem. After 60, your body doesn't process food the same way it used to. The same foods you could eat at 30 or 40 without any issue can begin to behave very differently inside your body later in life. Your metabolism slows down. Your cells become less responsive to insulin, and your blood sugar becomes harder to control. So when you eat certain healthy foods, your blood sugar can spike much faster and stay elevated much longer. And the dangerous part is this: you don't feel it happening. There's no immediate pain, no clear warning, just small, quiet changes happening inside your body. Blood vessels becoming more stressed, insulin levels rising more than they should, energy levels crashing later in the day. And over time, this repeated cycle can increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, poor circulation, and long-term metabolic damage. Now here's what makes this even more surprising. Many of these foods are recommended. They're advertised as heart-friendly. They're marketed for weight loss. They're even suggested in diet plans for older adults. So people eat them every day, thinking they're protecting their health, when in reality, they may be doing the opposite. In this video, Dr. Nathan Collaway reveals 5 healthy foods that can spike blood sugar after 60 and explains why they affect your body differently as you age. You'll learn what these foods are, what's actually happening inside your body when you eat them, and what simple changes you can make instead. Because protecting your health after 60 isn't just about eating less. It's about understanding what your body can no longer handle the same way. And once you see how these foods really behave, you may never look at them the same way again. Let's start with one of the most common foods people eat every single day, especially in the morning: breakfast cereals. Now, if you ask most people over 60 what a healthy breakfast looks like, many will say something like this: a bowl of cereal with milk. It feels light, it feels clean, and it's been marketed for decades as the perfect way to start your day. You've probably seen the labels: whole grain, high fiber, heart healthy, low fat. And because of that, many people believe they're making a smart choice. But here's the reality. Not all cereals are as healthy as they appear, especially after the age of 60. Let's break down why. When you eat cereal, your digestive system quickly begins breaking it down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream, and your body responds by releasing insulin to control it. Now, in younger years, your body handles this process efficiently. Blood sugar rises, then returns to normal fairly quickly. But after 60, this process slows down. Your cells don't respond to insulin as effectively, which means glucose stays in your bloodstream longer than it should. And this is where the problem begins. Because many cereals, even the ones labeled healthy, are made from highly processed grains. During manufacturing, these grains are ground into fine particles, cooked, puffed, or rolled, and often combined with added sugars or flavorings. This changes how your body reacts to them. Instead of being digested slowly, they are absorbed very quickly, and that leads to a rapid spike in blood sugar. Now think about your morning. When you wake up, your body already has a slight increase in blood sugar. This is normal. It's part of your body preparing you for the day. But when you add a fast-digesting meal like cereal on top of that, the spike becomes much larger. Your blood sugar rises quickly. Your body releases a surge of insulin. And then, a few hours later, your blood sugar can drop again. This is what many people experience as mid-morning fatigue, sudden hunger, lack of focus, low energy. And they don't realize it's connected to what they ate. They think, maybe I didn't sleep well. Maybe I just need coffee. But in many cases, it's a blood sugar cycle. Now here's something even more surprising. Many cereals contain hidden sugars. Even if the label doesn't clearly say high sugar, you might see ingredients like cane juice, syrup, maltose, fructose, or natural sweeteners. To your body, these all behave similarly. They raise blood sugar. So you end up with a food that digests quickly, contains added sugars, and causes a rapid glucose spike. Now imagine repeating this every morning, day after day, month after month, year after year. At first, you may not notice anything, but over time, your body starts to feel the effects. Blood sugar becomes harder to control. Triglycerides may increase. Insulin resistance can develop. And this is why many people are surprised during routine checkups. They say, "I've been eating healthy," but their numbers tell a different story. Because what feels healthy doesn't always behave that way inside the body. Now let's be clear, this doesn't mean all grains are bad. It's about how they're processed. For example, steel-cut oats digest slowly. Whole grains with structure release glucose gradually. But highly processed cereals? They act more like a quick sugar delivery system. Now what can you do instead? The goal is not to eliminate everything. It's to make smarter choices. Instead of starting your day with fast-digesting cereals, consider options that digest more slowly and provide more stable energy. Foods that combine protein, healthy fats, and natural fiber. These help reduce spikes and keep your energy more stable throughout the morning. Now let me ask you something. Have you been starting your day with cereal, thinking it's a healthy choice? If so, you're not alone. Millions of people do the same. But now you understand something most people don't. It's not just about what the food looks like. It's about how your body responds to it. And after 60, that response changes. In the next part, we're going to talk about another healthy food that many people eat every day, often without realizing how quickly it can raise blood sugar. And this one might surprise you even more. Now let's move to the second healthy food. And this one surprises almost everyone. Flavored yogurt. If you ask most people what a healthy snack looks like, yogurt is usually at the top of the list. It's associated with protein, calcium, gut health, and digestion. And all of that is true, but only under one condition. When the yogurt is plain and minimally processed. Because once flavor is added, everything changes. Let's take a closer look. Most flavored yogurts, especially the ones that say strawberry, vanilla, low fat, fruit blend, contain added sugars. Sometimes a lot more than people realize. Now here's the tricky part. These sugars are often not obvious. They may not just appear as sugar on the label. Instead, you might see fruit concentrate, cane juice, syrup, artificial sweeteners. And when combined, they can significantly increase the sugar content of that yogurt. Now think about how yogurt is usually eaten. It's often seen as a light snack, something you can eat quickly between meals, or even as breakfast. But because it's soft and easy to digest, your body absorbs it quickly. And when it contains added sugars, that absorption becomes even faster. Now let's connect this to what happens inside your body after 60. As we discussed earlier, your body becomes less efficient at managing blood sugar. So when you eat something that digests quickly and contains added sugars, your blood sugar can spike rapidly. And just like with cereal, that spike is followed by a drop, which can lead to feeling hungry again soon after eating, low energy, cravings for more sugar. Now here's something important to understand. Many people choose low-fat yogurt thinking it's healthier, but when fat is removed, sugar is often added to improve taste. So you end up with a product that looks healthy, feels light, but behaves very differently inside your body. Now let's talk about portion size. A small cup of flavored yogurt may not seem like much, but depending on the brand, it can contain as much sugar as a dessert. And because it doesn't feel heavy, people don't think of it that way. They may even eat it daily, sometimes more than once a day. Now imagine this pattern repeating over time. Small sugar spikes, every day, from something you believe is healthy. Over time, this can contribute to increased insulin resistance, difficulty managing blood sugar, and fluctuations in energy levels. Now here's another layer to this. Yogurt is often combined with other foods, granola, honey, fruit syrups. And while each of these may seem harmless on their own, together they can create a much larger impact. A bowl of flavored yogurt with granola and honey can quickly become a high-sugar meal, even though it looks like a clean or healthy choice. Now, does this mean yogurt is bad? Not at all. It's about which type you choose. Plain yogurt, without added sugars, digests more slowly and has a very different effect on your body. It provides protein, it supports gut health, and it doesn't cause the same rapid spike in blood sugar. Now let me ask you something. Have you been eating flavored yogurt thinking it's a healthy option? If so, you're not alone. It's one of the most common choices people make, especially after 60. But now you understand something most people overlook. It's not just the food itself. It's what's been added to it and how your body processes it. Because after 60, small changes in how your body handles sugar can make a big difference. In the next part, we're going to look at another food that's often recommended for heart health, but can quietly raise blood sugar faster than people expect. And this one is even more commonly misunderstood. Now let's move to the third healthy food. And this is something almost everyone eats, often every single day. Whole wheat bread, or what people believe is whole wheat bread. If you walk into any grocery store, you'll see shelves filled with bread labeled whole grain, multigrain, brown bread, high fiber. And because of these labels, many people assume this must be healthier than white bread. And in some cases, that's true. But here's the problem. Not all brown or whole wheat bread is actually what it seems. Let's break it down. True whole grain bread is made from grains that still contain their natural structure, fiber, bran, and nutrients intact. These digest more slowly, which means they release glucose into the bloodstream gradually. That's what you want. But many commercial breads are heavily processed, even if they are labeled whole wheat. During processing, the grains are often ground into very fine flour, stripped of some natural structure, and sometimes mixed with refined flour. This changes how your body reacts to them. Instead of slow digestion, they are broken down quickly. And when something is digested quickly, it raises blood sugar quickly. Now here's something that surprises many people. Some whole wheat breads can raise blood sugar almost as fast as white bread. Because the finer the grain is ground, the easier it is for your body to absorb it. Now let's connect this to your body after 60. As we've discussed, insulin response slows down. Blood sugar stays elevated longer. The body struggles to return to balance quickly. So when you eat something like processed whole wheat bread, the spike becomes more significant. Now think about how often bread is eaten. Breakfast, lunch, sometimes even dinner. Toast in the morning, sandwiches in the afternoon. It becomes a daily habit. And because it feels like a healthy choice, people don't question it. Now here's another layer to this. Bread is often combined with other foods. Jam, honey, sweet spreads, even certain processed toppings. And each of these adds more sugar to the meal. So what starts as just bread can quickly turn into a high blood sugar spike. Now let's talk about something very important. Labels can be misleading. Just because something says whole grain, multigrain, brown, doesn't mean it's slow digesting or blood sugar friendly. Sometimes these are marketing terms, not a true reflection of how the food behaves in your body. Now here's how you can think about it simply. The more processed the grain, the faster it affects your blood sugar. Now let me ask you something. Have you been choosing brown bread thinking it's the healthier option? If so, you're not alone. Millions of people do the same. But now you understand something important. It's not just about the color of the bread. It's about how it's processed and how your body responds to it. Now, this doesn't mean you have to completely avoid bread. It means being more aware, choosing options that are less processed, more natural in structure, and slower to digest. Because those options provide more stable energy, and they place less stress on your blood sugar system. Now think about the long-term effect. A small spike once in a while is not a problem, but repeated spikes, every day, over many years, can slowly change how your body functions. This is how insulin resistance develops, blood sugar becomes harder to control, and metabolic health begins to shift. All from something that seems simple. Now here's the key takeaway. After 60, your body becomes more sensitive to how quickly foods are digested, and foods like processed bread can have a much stronger effect than you expect. In the next part, we're going to talk about another food that is widely recommended for heart health, but can quietly raise blood sugar in a way most people don't notice at all. And this one is something many people eat daily, without ever questioning it. Now let's move to the final part. So far, you've seen how some of the most common foods that look healthy on the surface can actually affect your blood sugar in ways most people don't expect. Foods like breakfast cereals, flavored yogurt, and even certain types of bread can create rapid spikes, especially after the age of 60. Now let's talk about two more foods that many people consume every day without ever questioning them. The first one is fruit juice. Most people believe fruit juice is one of the healthiest things they can drink. It's natural, it contains vitamins, and it's often associated with energy and immunity. And while whole fruits can be beneficial, juice behaves very differently inside the body. When you eat a whole fruit, it contains fiber. That fiber slows down how quickly sugar is absorbed into your bloodstream. But when fruit is turned into juice, most of that fiber is removed. What you're left with is a concentrated form of sugar in liquid form. Liquid is absorbed quickly by the body. So when you drink fruit juice, your blood sugar can rise very rapidly, sometimes even faster than solid foods. And because it feels light and refreshing, people often drink more than they realize. A single glass of juice can contain the sugar of several fruits, but without the fiber that would normally slow things down. For someone over 60, whose body is already slower at managing blood sugar, this can create a noticeable spike. Blood sugar rises quickly, insulin is released, and then levels can drop again. That cycle can lead to fatigue, cravings, and unstable energy throughout the day. Now let's talk about the next food, which is instant oatmeal. Oats are often recommended as a healthy option, and in their natural form they are. But not all oats are the same. There is a big difference between less processed oats and instant oatmeal packets. Instant oatmeal is pre-cooked, processed, and often flavored. This means your body can break it down very quickly. Faster digestion leads to a faster rise in blood sugar. And when you add sweet flavors like brown sugar or syrup, that effect becomes even stronger. This is why something that feels light and healthy can behave very differently inside the body, especially when it becomes a daily habit. Now take a step back and look at everything we've discussed. Breakfast cereals, flavored yogurt, processed bread, fruit juice, and instant oatmeal all share one common pattern. They are digested quickly, and they raise blood sugar faster than most people expect. The issue is not that these foods are harmful on their own. The issue is how often they are consumed, how they are processed, and how your body responds to them after 60. Because after 60, your body becomes more sensitive to these spikes, and repeated spikes over time can gradually affect your metabolism, your energy levels, and your overall health. And the most important part is that this process happens quietly. There are no obvious warning signs in the beginning. It builds slowly over time. That's why understanding how your body has changed is so important. You don't need to completely change everything you eat. You don't need extreme diets or complicated routines. What matters is awareness. Once you understand how certain foods affect your body, you naturally begin to make better choices. And those small changes, repeated consistently, can make a real difference. So if there's one thing to take from this, it's this. It's not just about what looks healthy. It's about how your body responds to it now. And that understanding can change everything.